I was logically thinking about the next
That's
question.
okay. If you want to ask it again, and then I can just,
Yeah, no, I think that, no, I think what you said so far is great. But based upon that approach that you just talked about in terms of identifying them and line by line, and often what we see is that it is, when it hasn't been previously managed, it's fragmented, it's all over the place, far more suppliers than the company should ever be looking at, and all that kind of stuff. What have you seen as the best approach to begin to win adoption of this change, right? Change management is always a huge issue, but what is the best approach that you've seen in order to wrestle in exactly like this, the labor spend or the staff professional services spend that you just talked about?
when I look at adoption throughout the organization, the #1 success factor has to do with organizational alignment. It needs to be a top-down edict that comes from the office of the CFO or comes from the office of the CEO. The organization needs to understand that one group, one entity, is responsible for making external commitments on goods and services. But within the sourcing organization, their role is not to source within a vacuum. They need to align themselves with the business units and have the process owners collaborate in terms of product specification, product standardization, and figuring out what exactly the organization needs. Then the sourcing organization takes it externally to the marketplace, and when you have that top-down edict that says that sourcing will be accountable for external spend on goods and services, it makes the recognition of savings easier, and it makes the recognition of savings accelerated. Mm-hmm. At least that's my experience.
Right. Now, you've been in organizations that have been in have probably been in both, but what is the dynamic that you've seen in terms of when the organization is in what I would call or say is a fight or flight mode, aggressive save cost cuttings, mm-hmm. Have to survive, fight or flight. And the difference in the dynamic when the corporation is we're on the real big growth swing difference. What we see or what we hear and see is that procurement is the hero during the worst of times and the obstacle during the best of times.
Over the past 10 years, I've been involved with 2 organizations that have been on a burning platform. Competition was being introduced, there were emerging technologies, there was government regulation. The organization did not have very many opportunities to add bottom line net income growth. In those environments, when the edict comes down from the CEO or the CFO that says sourcing needs to assist in driving incremental dollars to the net income line, there is that burning platform that makes it easier for the sourcing organization to be heard at the table within the C-suite. In those environments, the sourcing organization, the CPO, needs to be accountable and needs to feel comfortable in bringing those savings opportunities to the table. So in those environments where there is a burning platform and where there is a desperate need to have incremental savings on the net income line, my experience suggests that there's savings to be had in the range of 8 to 12% on the addressable spend.
And what about the adoption challenges? So in a sense,